That's called a transition, Joe Harrison. Can I tell you, the last time we had this item on air doing a presentation, Joe Harrison was at home having to do this on Skype. It has been since 2021. We have not been able to get this back. It's from Minolta. They are the gold standard when it comes to being able to do any kind of photos or cameras. If you have ever tried to zoom in on something, let's say on your phone, the moment you zoom even a little bit, it gets all pixelated, it's grainy, you can't really see anything. You can do 67 times optical zoom with this. 20 megapixels of your pictures, 1080p HD video, and it has built-in Wi-Fi. This is almost a $500 camera you're getting from Minolta today. Joe's telling me he has never seen this price, ever. $119 off. Free shipping. If you did this on a FlexPay, which is everybody can do, it's $75 a month.
I love that.
But my VIP card members, if you have an HSN credit card, you can have this incredible camera in your hand for $31.24. You pay it off in the 12 months, no added interest. You're gonna pick a color. We have it in the red and the purple. Is the black sold out?
Oh, I know, I'm holding the black right now.
Oh, you have the black.
Yeah, I've got the black.
So 3, you get all the things that come with it.
Everything you need.
2021 was the last time we were able to secure enough.
You're right.
To do a presentation.
Exactly right. This has been probably one of the most popular Minolta cameras we've ever done. Because it's so unique compared to anything else you've seen.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, we used to invest in cameras. Everyone had a camera, and you're like, I got to take photos for all those memories that matter. But then we ended up switching over to one of these guys. You're like, oh, I've got the camera that's built into my phone. That's great. However, my phone cost me $1,000. This camera that's in here is only 15 megapixels. This one is 20 megapixels. It's designed to make me look like a professional. But this also only has a 3x zoom. On this, when you see the zoom that is built into it, it is 67 times where you're standing. 67 times. My camera on my cell phone is only 3 times. This is 67 times. Now, to give you an example, what does that mean? If you see something that is 670 feet away from you, it now feels like it's 10 feet away from you. So imagine how much closer you can get to the action. By the way, 670 feet is roughly 2 football fields. So if you're always sitting in the back of the auditorium trying to capture your kids, or maybe you're on the soccer field trying to capture photos of your kids, or maybe you're at the zoo trying to capture the animals, or wherever you happen to be, and you never get close to the action, it's because you don't have this. Your camera can't do that. That's why when you have this professional style camera, when you're able to get that type of a zoom, you really are able to get closer to the action. Now, Tina, to show you what this really equates to, I've got a prop I want to show you. Because this is what's built. Minolta put so many professional features into this. This is what you would have to buy.
I saw you walking across with that. I was like, what's happening right now?
This is a 60 times zoom.
That's paparazzi style.
This is paparazzi style, just like from the Oscars. This is well over $1,000 to add to a camera. Just the lens and that type of zoom is now built into it.
That is equating to that.
Absolutely. Wow. Now, if you're thinking, okay, 67 times, there's no way it's really getting that close. I'm going to show you a couple of photos that I have right here. So the first photo I have, I went to New York City. I'm standing on the edge of the river. You can see there's the New York skyline in the background. There's the Freedom Tower. There's the Brooklyn Bridge. It was gorgeous. And then I noticed this tugboat that's pulling this barge. Well, because I have 67 times closer, I can now zoom in and get a little bit closer to that tugboat. So I'm zooming in. There he is. He's getting a little bit closer. But that's not 67 times zoom. Now I can get even closer. And I'm getting so close, I can count the portholes that are on here. And then if you look right there in the middle, there's a face that is right in there, because that is probably one of the captains and one of the crew that's working. And I'm going to show you this. That is now, there he is right there. Of course, I'm dropping my props. There he is right there. There's that same guy.
What?
That is 67 times closer. Now, Tina, let me show you where we started. This is where we started from. I have this picture right here. This is me standing.
I think he's eating grilled cheese for lunch.
On the Brooklyn Bridge. That is the guy that's in the porthole that is right there. So when I say 67 times closer, 670 feet makes it look like 10 feet, there's that guy's face that's in that. If your camera has never been able to do that, if your cell phone has never been able to do that, That's why you buy a better camera. Because as life goes by, and when you think about, we just passed through the last holiday. Did you get a bad holiday photo? Did you get a bad Halloween photo? Did you have a bad Christmas photo? I'm gonna take all these down for a second. Because what ends up happening is a lot of us get disappointed with our pictures. And you end up relying on these cell phones, and they take good photos for the moment. However, when you go back to look at those photos, it's not worth it. How many times do you have kids that are graduating? It's one time. How many times are kids taking the first step? It's just one time. How often do you have that wedding? Hopefully it's just one time. But when you end up doing it, you're relying on those cell phones to take those memories, or you use a professional quality camera that creates a memory that you could truly mount on a wall.
You know, a big portion of why you pay a professional photographer, of course you want their skill, their talent to do all the things, but you are also paying because they have nicer cameras than you do, right? They take better pictures with a nicer camera. By the way, everybody's purchasing the purple color, so if you want that one, I would grab it early. That's the red, we have it in the black, you get the case, you get all the other items that are here. But this is what I will tell you, it will never not happen. We go to Riker's, all of his like little performances and stuff, no matter where I sit in that auditorium, somehow he's on the opposite side. Right? If I move sides, the teacher would go, no, we're gonna go on that side. So I'm like zooming in on my cell phone, I'm trying to get a video and a picture of him. It is grainy, you can't tell which one's my kid. Looks like I took this picture in 1972, right? From like a little Polaroid. But mommy wants the picture, that moment, right? He's only gonna be 5 once, he's only gonna be in this performance once, you know, maybe he has this thing, I can take video, I can take pictures, I can zoom in and get his little face and his expressions. By the way, his last presentation, again, I'm sitting on the wrong side of the auditorium. I don't know where they're gonna be, right? And I hear from across the way, where's my mom?
Oh my gosh, like that's my son.
Oh, he's talking about me. I was like, baby, I'm on the other side. Zoom in. I don't have to crawl over people, do all the things.
That's
I want it crisp and clean.
That's what we all want. And you want those photos, and a lot of times you try zooming in, and then you look at it later on, and it's out of focus. Like it's all pixelated, it just looks a mess. So I'm gonna show you another example of just what it's like to zoom in, because I was off on the riverbank, I was truly hundreds of feet away, but what happens, like Tina mentioned, her son is, say he's just like 50 feet away from you, and we wanna be able to capture that moment, where there's the statue that's right down here as I'm just walking through New York, and I notice, oh, there's a pigeon, a New York pigeon sitting on top of that guy's head. So I can now zoom in, I'm gonna turn sideways, there's the pigeon that's on top of that guy's head. And I was like 50 feet away. But this isn't even 67 times zoom. Now I can get even closer to that pigeon. So now look at even just the hairline this guy has and the detail in his face and that sculpture that they have on there. Even the individual feathers you can see on that pigeon, even though I'm 50 feet away. So if you're trying to capture the first moment, that great moment of your kids on the other side of the auditorium, you can absolutely do it now because you have a better zoom. Cell phone cameras just don't have it. You know, they're great to take in that picture that's in the moment, but then they don't have that right quality photo. And a lot of times too, you try to take a photo at night, this is really gonna make you a professional photographer because of the modes that are built into this. It has an A for automatic mode, just let it do its thing. If you wanna dial in, there's 14 different modes, but how many times do you take a nighttime shot? And this is what it looks like. You can see the person that's close to you, but then in the background, it's completely gone. Or it's all grayed out, it's washed out. But in nighttime mode, Tina, it looks like we turned the lights on in the city. Everything is still in focus. There she is, and then there she is. Same spot, same mode. All you do is you just put it in nighttime mode, and now the entire city is illuminated. And I didn't have the entire city turn its lights off. It's that your camera wasn't good enough to be able to take this quality photo. So even in those low light moments, if you're trying to capture your kids just blowing out the candles on the birthday cake, this is going to take a better shot. So when you think about, would you want to trust your cell phone with that type of photo? Or then Tina, you look at this, like this is the photo that you're posting on Facebook, that you're printing off and putting on your wall, because it is a photo of a memory you'll have forever.
I can't believe that's the same.
I know, it's the same shot. It's incredible. It's just that the camera makes you so good. That's the thing about it.
And what you were saying, one moment will only happen one moment, right? And I print so many pictures out.
You should, yeah.
Because listen, I had Riker when I was 40. And me and my husband took our baby books out when I was pregnant. We had that moment, right? We looked at all these pictures and I had an epiphany. I was like, where is he gonna find all these pictures? Do I give him access to my Facebook page? Like, what do I do, right? I have been so proud of myself. For the last 5 years my baby's been born. I have taken pictures. They have been good quality. I have printed them out and I have put them intangible pictures for us to have. It was very important to me to have that for him. And if it's videos, remember when we would, go back, we did the thing where we took all our old VHSs and
we converted them,
converted them.
Yeah.
Man, those were grainy. Those were so bad, but we just loved being able to go back and watch my husband pitch, or me being the, star of the dance, of that. You only have one chance to get it in realistic, vivid moments. Have some things dedicated. I get your phone, but it's also text messages. It's also where you check your, TikToks or whatever. This is dedicated, being able to do that Zoom, do the videos, do the pictures, and it's that thing's job, right? You cannot do anything else but being able to get that. $119 off, Joe.
That's incredible.
And Joe would be able to tell you, you've never seen that price?
No, lowest price. We've had it so many times over $400, and at that point, it was a sale. I've never seen it this low.
Okay.
Because the technology in here, it's not cheap technology.
Yeah.
Like you're buying.
No, that's the point, though.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see a camera under $100, and you're thinking, that's a great deal, but then it's like, what do they take out of it to get to that deal? The first thing we keep showing you the zoom is, and it's incredible, being able to get 67 times closer. Think about somebody on the other side of the room, 60 feet away.
Yeah.
It feels like they're just a foot away from you. But it also, the design of this, like it's very comfortable in your hands. It feels like a high quality camera, because this is what Minolta's been doing for almost 100 years. They create incredible optics, but they designed it this way because you can see as my hand wraps around it, everything you need is right there. There's your photo button. There's your zoom in, zoom out button. So it's quick, easy access, but you use it yourself as a stabilizer. Now, the other nice thing about this is you do have a big LCD display that's on the back side. I like to turn that off and look right through the big viewfinder that's on there. And by the way, I'm going to swing this around to show you. This LCD display, you can swivel it out, you can find the right angle, so if you're trying to shoot something over your head, no problem, you can easily be able to swing that around. But I like to look directly in that, and the reason why is, when you're focused just on this is all your eye sees. You're not distracted by everything else. So whatever you see here, you're going to see them right now on the back side of that lens. It makes you a better photographer just by the simple design that they have available. You also see, by the way, there's a Wi-Fi symbol. Yes, it can connect to your cell phone, so you can download the photos so that you can upload them to Facebook, to Instagram, whatever you want to do. So it does have Wi-Fi that's built in. It also has a flash that's built in with two speakers, a left and a right speaker, because this records in stereo sound. It's incredible for the video. But then you also see on the side here, this is the different modes that you have available for you. There's 14 different modes. I like to put it just in A for automatic for most of the time. But I'll put it in nighttime mode when I'm using those low light situations. There's a sport mode on here. It's a face mode as well. There's also a macro mode. We talk about how this can take pictures so far away, but it also has a lens that's designed to take pictures of something super close. So I've got a picture of a cactus here. The cactus is just, it's in the backyard, but it's in this little potted plant. It's beautiful. It's a great little photo. You can see the backyard, and there's the cactus. But I wanted to get closer to those flowers. And if you try doing that with your cell phone, everything's just blurry. But with this one, it even has a super tight macro zoom. So those flowers are now so close to it, but everything is still in focus. So this camera is amazing whether you are 600 feet away or you're just a foot away and you want to get a little bit closer to the action. It allows you to do that. Now, the other nice thing is we're getting to that point of the year, we're starting to think about traveling. Starting to think about getting out and about. And you're gonna be in one of those places where maybe you have a spring break coming up, maybe you have that once in a lifetime trip, and maybe you're going up to Alaska or doing a cruise or doing something that you're only gonna be able to do one time. We took our kids down to the zoo and we wanna be able to capture animals. We're big nature fans. But there's this owl that was right here. And when we went to the zoo, a lot of times this is what your cell phone picture will look like. You see the habitat, there's a lot of stuff going on. There is the owl that's sitting right there. And I wanted to get closer to him. Because what happens when you take this picture with your cell phone? You do this thing called pinch and zoom. And you pinch, and every time you pinch, you lower the quality of the image. But I don't have to do that pinch and zoom. I just zoom using the camera. Now let me show you what that owl looks like when you get a little bit closer. That's the owl right there just zooming in. Now to show you how big this quality is, that is my hand. We zoomed in onto this owl and printed it off. That is a 20 by 30 inch print of that tiny little owl that is right there. And we zoomed in. There was no loss of quality whatsoever. There's no cell phone that will be able to take this type of picture. If you are, like, reminds me of going on our Alaskan cruise. It was a once-in-a-lifetime trip for us.
Yeah.
We saw bears, we saw whales, we saw sea lions, we saw goats that were hanging on the side of the cliffs, all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I was able to zoom in. Because it was the first time I ever traveled with my Minolta 67Z, and I was able to get 67 times closer.
Yeah.
Because my wife, she was taking pictures, because at that point, I'm just like you. I had my cell phone. Everyone's used to take out the cell phone, you try to get the picture, you can't see anything. But now, having something that's 67 times closer, from that trip, almost every photo that we kept were the ones from the Minolta.
From the Minolta.
Because the cell phone, it's good, but this is what makes it great.
If you, and I was saying that about professional photographers, they spend so much money investing in their equipment, and then of course they bring talent and skill and things that I can't sell that to you. That part is there. But they invest in their equipment because they know it's gonna be better quality videos and photos and all of that. They spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. If you wanna be able to have a little bit of that for you, your family, your hobby, your trip, your memories, whatever it is, we have not been able to secure enough of these cameras again since 2021. Literally, Joe was still at home. We were still Skyping. We weren't even live with each other yet. It is now able to get enough of these to do it again. Joe was telling me he's never seen this price. I can't remember what it was back in 2021. Original price of this was $500. We're taking $119 off. You could do this on a 5 Flex, which means $75 a month. You're already taking pictures and enjoying the videos. VIP financing, which means it's 12 months, $31.24. You're already taking the pictures, enjoying them. And I promise, I said that about the shredder, like future me will thank me.
Absolutely.
When you start going back to these pictures as time goes on, the babies are growing faster, time goes by, you will never go, man, I really wish I didn't have these really good pictures to look at.
Like as my daughter's now a freshman in college, we go back and look about the first time she rode a bike. First time she went to school. I still have the great picture of her walking to the bus stop for the first time. And she was in kindergarten, and the backpack was so massive. We still have the backpack, like the backpack's so tiny, but she was so tiny. And now she's 5'8". Like, it's crazy how things change, and you go back, that's when you appreciate 100%, you're right. The future you will appreciate the picture that you took today. And when you have a camera like this, it's gonna make everybody look like a professional. Yes, you can hire a professional, but let Minolta make you a better photographer. And the way it's designed is just a way, it's right there in your hand, and make it easy that you're using your own built-in stabilization, so you're gonna take some great shots. But when you see the zoom that's on here, it's 67 times closer to the action. You don't have to be 67 times. Maybe you wanna be 20 times zoom, or you wanna be 10 times zoom. Whatever it is, anywhere from now to 67 times, you are able to see it. And to give you an example, anything 67 feet away feels like you're just 1 foot away. So it's basically like 3 or 4 rooms away from you, you're gonna be able to get close to that action. It does have that built-in flash, so if there's no light in the room, you're gonna take a great, amazing shots with it. You can put it in A for automatic, and it'll do its thing, give you the best type of photography, and then you keep spinning the wheel, and there's 14 different modes that are built in to make you a better photographer. Really can dial in to that professional access. You see the Wi-Fi signal that's on top, because this can connect to your cell phone and upload those photos and those videos straight to your Facebook and Instagram, whatever you want to do. There's also a massive 3-inch display that is on the back side, so they're making it easy so you can go back and preview all those photos, all those videos that you have. But this is the only camera that has that built